Hello there, young man.
It's King Ding Dong.
King who?
Ding Dong, don't you see him?
Hostess or Little Debbie, pick a side because in the 70s, your snack said everything about you. This was no treat-yourself moment. It was a full-blown dessert duel fought in lunchboxes across America. Number 1. Twinkies versus Zebra Cakes.
You get a big delight in every bite with wonderful Hostess cream-filled Twinkies.
Let's kick it off with the headliners, the golden twins of artificial perfection. Twinkies were the prom queens of the Hostess lineup. Soft, squishy, vaguely banana-scented, even though that was discontinued in the 50s. And injected with that iconic white mystery cream. They weren't just snacks, they were status symbols. If you had a Twinkie in your lunch, people noticed. Then came Zebra Cakes. Little Debbie's response wasn't subtle. She threw vanilla cake, cream filling, and a striped icing pattern that screamed, "I'm not trying to be classy, I'm trying to be loved." Here's the thing. Twinkies were light and airy, almost too proud of themselves. Zebra Cakes were indulgent, dense, sticky, the kind of snack that left icing on your fingers and zero regrets. If Twinkies were a wink, Zebra Cakes were a full-body hug. Who wins? Depends. Are you craving validation or sugar overload? Number 2. Ding Dongs versus Swiss Rolls.
Ding Ding Dong, a giant outer space heater, is flying towards our chocolate-flavored planet.
Oh, my stars! My chocolate kingdom will melt away!
Now we're talking chocolate warfare. Ding Dongs looked like they were ready for battle, individually wrapped in foil like little dessert grenades. You peeled that wrapper with reverence. The cake was firm, the chocolate shell had a satisfying snap, and the filling was evenly distributed, like a snack engineered by NASA. Swiss rolls, on the other hand, were humble but seductive. 2 to a pack, rolled up like chocolate cigars. They didn't need fancy packaging, they had swirls, and swirls meant business. Hostess made you feel like you were indulging. Little Debbie made you feel like you were getting away with something. There was an unspoken thrill in unrolling a Swiss roll with your fingers, licking the cream off the inside spiral like a total maniac. Both were messy, both were chocolate, both could ruin your homework if they melted in your backpack. But only one made you feel like a sophisticated snack criminal. Advantage: Swiss roll. Number 3. Ho-Ho's vs. Nutty Buddy.
Look, Happy Ho-Ho! That fan's out of control!
Slow it down! But not enough.
Ho-Ho's were Swiss rolls' fancier cousins, thicker coating, tighter spiral, slightly smugger attitude. The name alone felt like it should be whispered. Nutty Buddy were the loud ones at the party. Crunchy, peanut buttery, and completely unapologetic. They didn't melt. They didn't squish. They snapped. And that was their superpower. See, Ho-Ho's were best when chilled, but Nutty Buddy? They were bulletproof. You could toss them in a gym bag, forget about them for 3 days, and they'd still taste like perfection. One was elegant chaos. The other was engineered survival. In a post-disco world that didn't always make sense, sometimes you just needed a snack that could take a hit. Nutty Buddy win this round. Number 4. Hostess Cupcakes versus Fudge Rounds.
Don't get wet.
Oh, no!
Off the rock. Later, after we eat.
This one hurts. It's like choosing between sequins and suede. They both did something for us. Hostess Cupcakes had that perfect white swirl on top. You know the one. You'd peel the chocolate icing off in one piece like it was a sticker, then eat the cake like an animal. The filling wasn't generous, but it was sweet enough to keep you coming back. Fudge Rounds? Pure decadence. Chocolate on chocolate with chocolate stripes and chocolate filling. They didn't even pretend to be balanced. If you were eating a fudge round, you weren't looking for moderation. You were looking for mercy. One had showmanship, the other had intensity. Hostess Cupcakes were flirtatious, Fudge Rounds were committed. And if we're being honest, that fudge round probably remembered your birthday. Round goes to Little Debbie. Number 5. Fruit Pies versus Oatmeal. Creme Pies.
I'm Fruit Pie the magician, the Hostess Pie technician.
Fruit pie.
You what?
Look out for the ghost!
Fruit pies were the misunderstood geniuses of the Hostess world. Apple, cherry, lemon, each one wrapped in a waxy crust that somehow survived nuclear war and fifth period algebra. That glaze? Sticky as sin, the filling? Lava. Meanwhile, Little Debbie sent in the oatmeal creme pie, soft, chewy, and wholesome looking. But don't be fooled. That creme was fake in the best way. And the cookie? Just sturdy enough to hold together, just soft enough to feel homemade. Spoiler alert, it wasn't. Fruit pies made you feel like you were getting a slice of Americana. Oatmeal creme pies made you feel like you snuck dessert past your mom. One was a flaky, sugary mess. The other was reliable comfort. It's tough, but nostalgia gives this one to oatmeal cream pies. Alright, real talk. If you've watched more of my videos than you've eaten nutty bars in one sitting, it's time to subscribe. I'll keep serving up the nostalgia. You just hit that button and we'll call it even. And if you're on Facebook, come join the snack-fueled flashback party. We've got memories, mayhem, and probably someone still mad about the great Twinkie shortage. Number 6. Suzie Q's versus Star Crunch. Let's be honest, Suzie Q's were the middle children of the Hostess family. 2 slabs of devil's food cake holding onto a cream filling for dear life. They weren't pretty, they weren't refined, but man, they delivered. Then came Star Crunch, the weirdo genius of the Debbie crew. A chewy caramel base, crispy rice coating, and a chocolate shell holding it all together like it had something to prove. Suzie Q's were old school, Star Crunch was experimental. You either loved it or thought it tasted like a science project. But if you were into texture, Star Crunch was your jam. This one's a split decision. Suzie Q's had that comforting density, but Star Crunch brought the chaos. Pick your fighter. Number 7. Snowballs versus Banana Twins. Now we're in wild territory. Snowballs were divisive. Bright pink marshmallow domes covered in coconut, hiding chocolate cake and cream inside. They looked like dessert flamingos. Some folks adored them. Others thought they tasted like regret. Banana Twins, meanwhile, were Little Debbie's oddball duo. Banana-flavored cake, banana-flavored creme, and the weirdly satisfying shape of 2 long fingers stuck together. They didn't try to be popular, they leaned into the weird. Snowballs were theatrical, Banana Twins were quietly unsettling. It's hard to say which one wins, because, honestly, who asked for either? We'll call this the battle of the acquired tastes. No winner, just a lot of strong opinions. Number 8. Hostess Donettes versus mini powdered donuts.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
I'm looking. It's impossible.
Donettes were cute, round, and came in that clear cellophane sleeve that left your fingers looking like you dusted for fingerprints. Little Debbie's powdered minis weren't as flashy, but they delivered. They came in a bag that made you feel like you got a deal, even if you finished the whole thing in one sitting. Hostess Donettes had that perfect powder-to-cake ratio. Debbie's donuts were softer, maybe even a little bland, but they were consistent. This round's all about loyalty. You either stuck with Donettes and their powder bomb ways, or you grew up on Debbie's version and knew better than to eat them in a black shirt. Tie goes to Hostess on legacy alone. Number 9. Crocodiles versus Devil Squares.
This may take a while.
Have a crocodile! Hostess crocodiles from Chauncey Crocodile. It takes a while to eat a crocodile.
Crocodiles, the Twinkies' chocolate-coated alter ego. Some swore they tasted completely different than regular Twinkies. Others said it was just marketing sorcery. Either way, they were hard to find, and that gave them mystique. Devil Squares were humble, moist chocolate cake, chocolate icing, and a name that made you feel like you were doing something mildly rebellious just by eating one. Crocodiles had novelty. Devil Squares had consistency. If Crocodiles were a one-hit wonder, Devil Squares were the slow burn on side B of your favorite 8-track. For everyday pleasure? Devil Squares? Take it. Number 10. Hostess versus Little Debbie. The marketing smackdown.
Snacks, snacks, everywhere snacks. Welcome to the snack cake jungle.
Let's not forget, half the battle happened on TV. Hostess had commercials that made their snacks look like national treasures. "Where's the cream filling?" was practically a rallying cry. They had mascots, jingles, and the kind of bright packaging that practically glowed in your pantry. Little Debbie, on the other hand, had Little Debbie. That bonnet-wearing girl stared you down from every box with wholesome menace. You didn't mess with her. Her snacks didn't need fanfare. They just quietly worked. Hostess was all flash. Debbie was all function. and somehow both carved out permanent space in our childhoods. Final round. Who won the 70s snack war? Look, this isn't easy. Hostess was iconic. Little Debbie was consistent. One was the popular girl at school dances. The other was the friend you actually liked hanging out with. If you were after drama, theatrics, and processed flair. Hostess. If you craved steady, comforting sweetness on a Tuesday afternoon. Little Debbie. In truth, they both won. Because we ate them all. So, which were your favorites? Did I miss any? Were you Team Twinkie or Team Fudge round? Did you peel your Hostess cupcake icing off in one swoop? Or did you chomp it like a barbarian? And yes, I hear you screaming in the back about the fudge brownie. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten it. I'm just saving that chewy little square of chaos for another round.